Wikipedia bans 100% of conservative media. This is crazy. I mean, we already knew that Wikipedia is biased when it comes to their their information and stuff like that. We've been saying this for years. This is why no respectable researcher will actually cite Wikipedia. You would go look for original sources yourself. This is why when you're in college, you can't cite Wikipedia for sources or anything like that, because of the bias. And so we're gonna talk about it. We're also gonna talk about a study that was done by that was done by the Manhattan Institute. We're going to go over the executive summary of that and find out what they have to say about Wikipedia bias and stuff as well. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Newsmax, and they report that Wikipedia has been accused of favoring left-leaning media sources while almost completely blacklisting major conservative outlets, according to a new report by the Media Research Center released Monday. And again, this is on top of the other report that I'm going to get to that was done back in June of 2024. But the report reveals the self-proclaimed online encyclopedia disproportionately dismissed right-leaning news organizations as unreliable while granting credibility to liberal sources. Wikipedia, one of the world's most widely used online information sources, faces scrutiny over claims of political bias in its treatment of news organizations. And places like Google or YouTube, I should say, they link to Wikipedia articles when you talk about certain subjects and things like that. And again, they're super duper biased, and we're gonna go over some research, some studies to show that. But the MRC report stated that, quote, Wikipedia effectively blocked 100% of right-leaning media sources, the ones more likely to give fair treatment to the majority in Congress, as well as to incoming officials to the Trump administration. On the contrary, only 16% of left-wing media sources failed to win Wikipedia's stamp of approval. Only 16% of left-leaning. So this is crazy, because how inaccurate have those media companies been over the years, especially when it had to do anything to do with Trump. But the report assessed how Wikipedia categorizes news sources, finding that conservative outlets such as Breitbart, which is a really great source, the Daily Caller, another great source, a source that I use all the time, Newsmax, another one. I'm actually using Newsmax right now. One America News Network, that's one of the newer networks that are media companies that are really, really great as well. And the Media Research Center are labeled as generally unreliable or effectively blacklisted. I mean, think about that. How accurate has these people, these media organizations are some of the most accurate when it comes to information. And yet Wikipedia said they're generally unreliable. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense to me. Louis Cornelio, the report's author, expressed concern over the implications of these classifications. He said, quote, among the effectively blackballed media sources are Breitbart, the Daily Caller, Daily Mail, wow, and Daily Mail is very, very good as well, Newsmax, OWN, and the Media Research Center. Meanwhile, leftist media like the Atlantic, wow, Jacobin, really? The Jacobin? Mother Jones is horrible. ProPublica, The Guardian, the National and National Public Radio are given the green light, he wrote. I mean, that's just crazy. Mother Jones, wow. Quote, this blatant misinformation means that Wikipedia is purposely feeding America information exclusively through the lens of one side of the political spectrum, the left. And one of the co-founders of Wikipedia, who's no longer with them, he talks about this as well. He says that Wikipedia is super duper biased. But Cornelio and Dan Snyder, vice president of MRC, Free Speech America, further argued in an article for the Daily Wire that Wikipedia's sourcing policies distort political narrative. They said, quote, this imbalanced treatment is intentional and tactical. It's a deliberate effort to exclude right of center perspectives from the online discourse with the obvious goal of disparaging, slandering, and maligning anyone who opposes the radical left agenda, they wrote. The report also claimed that Wikipedia's editorial decisions impact on how political figures are portrayed. It's alleged that Wikipedia pages for President Donald Trump's appointees and other conservative figures are shaped primarily by left-leaning media, resulting in negative portrayals. Of course, that's what happens if you go off of those people with those leanings. But in contrast, Democrat figures receive more favorable coverage. Quote, this manipulation of information extends beyond just blacklisting certain sources. It actually distorts political narratives, Cornelio and Snyder wrote. Due to the systematic bias in Wikipedia's sourcing policies, the pages on Trump's appointees are overwhelmingly shaped by left-leaning media, presenting a skewed and often hostile portrayal of these individuals. The same treatment is not applied to Democratic figures whose pages benefit from friendlier coverage and selective omission of controversies. They omit it. Wikipedia has not publicly responded to the report's findings, and they probably won't. They never responded to the report that came out back in June, last June. The online encyclopedia claims to operate as a collaborative platform with volunteer editors responsible for content moderation. We heard that before. Its policies emphasizes reliance on reputable sources, but debates about which outlets meet that standard have long been a point of contention. Conservatives have long bemoaned that Wikipedia is nothing less than a political organization masquerading as a not-for-profit organization. And I would agree. So let's look at this bias. This Wikipedia bias study here. Here we go. Is Wikipedia politically biased? Now, again, this is from the Manhattan Institute. They published this on June 20th, 2024. And I'm just going to go over the executive summary. Of course, I'm not going to read the entire study here, but they said this work aims to determine whether there is evidence of political bias in English language Wikipedia articles. Wikipedia is one of the most popular domains on the World Wide Web, with hundreds of millions of unique users per month. Wikipedia is also routinely employed in the training of large language models, LLMs. This explains why like ChatGPT is left leaning and stuff like that, because they rely on sources from Wikipedia. But to study political bias in Wikipedia content, we analyze the sentiment, positive, neutral, or negative, with which a set of targets term N equals 1,628 with political connotations. Examples, you got names of recent U.S. presidents, U.S. Congress members, U.S. Supreme Court justices, or prime ministers of Western countries are used in Wikipedia articles. We do not cherry pick the set of terms to be included in the analysis, but rather use publicly available pre-existing lists of terms from Wikipedia and other sources. We find a mild to moderate tendency in Wikipedia articles to associate public figures ideologically aligned right of center with more negative sentiment than public figures ideologically aligned to the left. So simply put here, there's a mild to moderate chance of a conservative being put in a negative light, then there would be a left to center person. But these prevailing associations are apparent for names of recent U.S. presidents, U.S. Supreme Court justices, U.S. senators, U.S. House of Representatives, Congress members, U.S. state governors, Western countries' prime ministers, and prominent U.S.-based journalists and media organizations. This trend is common but not ubiquitous. We find no evidence of it in the sediment of which names of UK PMs and US-based think tanks are used in Wikipedia articles. We also find prevailing associations of negative emotions, anger and disgust, with right-leaning public figures and positive emotions, example, joy, with left-leaning public figures. So let that sink in. Let that sink in for a minute. So when they talk about these conservatives or right-leaning public figures, the article has a lot of anger and disgust in it. But when it comes to the left-leaning figures, liberals, progressives, there's joy. How is that not biased? How is that not biased? But these trends constitute suggestive evidence of political bias embedded in Wikipedia articles. We find some of the aforementioned political associations embedded in Wikipedia articles popping up in OpenAI's language models. That's what I was just alluding to. So like ChatGPT, this is why they're so ChatGPT is biased and far left, is because of sources like Wikipedia. This is suggestive of the potential for bias in Wikipedia content percolating into widely used AI systems. Wikipedia's neutral point of view in POV policy aims for articles in Wikipedia to be written in an impartial and unbiased tone. Our results suggest that Wikipedia's NPOV policy is not achieving its stated goal of political viewpoint neutrality in Wikipedia articles. This report highlights areas where Wikipedia can improve in how it presents political information. Nonetheless, we want to acknowledge Wikipedia's significant and valuable role in public resource. They do have some good resources there. I would go in and read the resources myself rather than take it for face value from a Wikipedia standpoint. I would go read those original sources myself. But we hope this work inspires efforts to uphold the strength and strengthen Wikipedia's principles of neutrality and impartiality. This was way back again. This was back in June 2024 when this came out. Nothing has changed yet. They was quiet on this when this came out in June. They're quiet on what MRC had to say about this same issue. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Do you notice the Wikipedia? Have you ever noticed the Wikipedia bias and bans and censorship? Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.